Welcome everybody to Daily Census Explained, where we explain the story in more detail, but in a fun way, so you can know the backstory and how the inspiration came for each episode and each chapter. Thank you guys for listening.
Welcome back, everyone, to Daily Census Explained, and we're on chapter 17. We care for each other. So this episode starts out, picks up where the last one left off, with Johnny coming over to Scotty in the cafeteria and telling him the whole story of what he heard Rivera and the security guy,
Robert Samuels.
Yes, Samuels talking about in terms of how they are trying to trip him up. They're trying to get rid of him and they're looking for evidence and everything. And Scotty is shocked, as you've talked about. He's naive about it. He, just refuses to believe that people are like this, but they are. And he considers for a minute leaving the position and going to a new place. But this is where I was talking about that he's just like, I'm just not going to let him get the best of me like that. And it's unfortunate that, that he feels this way because, we get this feeling that things are coming for him. So, but because obviously they're hell bent. It's just going to happen at some point. But he is, he's still going to keep moving forward here. But where this chapter shifts to is kind of an interesting revelation about Tracy Kites, the volunteer in the mailroom, the retiree. And she apparently has been sleeping occasionally on the job in the locker room or one of the places in a sleeping bag.
Right.
And so, she brings the bag to work. So it's not like she just fell asleep in a chair, like she was intending to sleep. And her supervisor, Victor, in the mailroom is, he's concerned about her. And so he asks about, are you having any personal issues? What's going on? And she's like, oh, sometimes it's too late. My legs hurt and I can't walk to the last bus and get there in time. So I just sleep here. Or if I'm really tired, I sleep here. And, he's like, yeah, but you can't really do that. We can't really have people sleep in here. And her reaction is a little surprising to this. So tell us a little bit about, her character and kind of what her reaction is to it.
Yeah, but with that one, I wanted to make sure that now you're starting to realize what's going on as a reader. She has the motive to be there.
Yeah.
You see that she's been sleeping in the locker room where they don't have cameras at.
Mm-hmm.
In the locker room.
room.
And also that other people have noticed her. The other volunteer ladies and ladies who work in the mailroom in the apartment is telling the supervisor, hey, this lady's staying there. Maybe she need help.
Right.
So, they offered, which I've done before when people work for me at the hospital, we would buy gift cards for them for they can travel back and forth if they work late. Because her whole thing was, well, what time I get out here because I'm volunteering so much and take cover in the overtime for you so you don't have to pay the people that I leave late. And by then the buses stop running. Mm-hmm. I can't walk so far to a shelter, so I just stay here.
Yeah,
right.
She doesn't have any other family to come pick her up.
And she explained about, she had no family members, none of that. So he felt sorry for her, but he's still trying to tell her, no, you cannot do this anymore. But, she was like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just a one-time thing. Like you said, she did have the sleeping bag.
Yeah. And her reaction is a little surprising because she gets angry. Like she, not heavily angry, but there's you can see.
She wasn't the nice, sweet.
You saw a little of her personality.
Yeah.
Everybody plays as a sweet, old, kind old lady. But, she got a pass too. Mm-hmm. And she can have a temper when she needs to.
Right.
First she felt like, hey, I don't need your handout type, And then after a while she realized she caught herself and became back that sweet, old, gentle lady again what everybody expects.
Right. And one could write that off as embarrassment, that sometimes when we're...
Pride.
Yeah, we get caught doing something we're not supposed to be doing. And even though we have an explanation for why, people are still like, hey, no, the rules say you can't do that. And so we get a little bit, irritated because we're embarrassed that we...
And that's exactly what I was going for.
Yeah.
Exactly what I was going for.
I've done so much for you. How dare you try to correct,
Because she's right. I mean, she is volunteering do overtime so he don't have to pay for it.
Right.
Remember, that's what Victor and Eric was bragging about doing the volunteer day.
on staying on the budget.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, how you stay on the budget? Well, he said, because I got volunteers.
Yeah.
They do the overtime. And he said, oh, so that's how you do it, smart man.
Yeah.
So, she's like, I'm helping you out. Why can't I just sleep here?
You can help
Every
me
now
out.
and then.
Right.
Or overlooked this one time. He told her he can't. So that's when she caught the attitude.
Yeah.
And with Johnny, with Scotty, I mean, he basically was trying to warn him, but he shot his shot too and was rubbing his hand. That's when Scotty stopped that. But at least to me, Scotty, I'll show that he was naive. But honestly, anybody with common sense would have left in. But no, he wanted to prove him wrong.
Right.
And let's see what that gets him. But Johnny did warn him.
Yeah.
That's two people that warned him so far. Nicole, now Johnny. Mm-hmm. That he's still stubborn enough. I'm not going to let them run me off.
Right.
But let's see what happens.
Right. And like you say, it's always that tightrope, that fine balance of I don't want to just quit and run every time there's a problem, but sometimes you got to see that the problem is beyond fixing. Like you're not going to make it go away or make it bring it under control.
Because remember when Scotty first talked to Johnny told him about it, but his first thought was, I need to get another job.
Yeah.
Then he's like, nah, I'm not letting him run. No, you get another job and then you leave.
Right.
You don't leave without another job because
Well,
you got to have money. But just don't quit to quit. But yeah, he should have took his first instinct.
Yeah.
Let me find another damn job and get out of here.
Yeah. Especially if people are out for you.
Yeah, that high up.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
The CEO, come on.
And especially now, he's obviously got the skills, the experience. It's been 2 years since there were incidents. So even if he'd tried right after and people had tried to pin those on him, it's been a long time now. So even though the hospital community, as we were sort of hinting at episodes ago, is that, it's a small community when it comes down to it. A lot of hospital people talk to each other nationwide. Still, there's going to be a place, probably in the same city, and he'll be fine at this point, but he's just not gonna let it go.
Exactly.
Yeah, but after that second warning, he should have held heed, especially when a different person comes to tell you about the same people that are plotting on you, that are out for you.
Right.
At some point, it becomes true.
Right.
Johnny got the tea.
Well, jumping back real quickly to kites, I thought that was, and I was going to ask you about that, and you kind of clarified a little bit with the prepaid card. It gives her a $500 prepaid card to help with her transportation. And, I know when I've worked at like certain organizations that dealt with a lot of people who didn't have immediate funds, often they were recently released, recently incarcerated and released, and we would give bus passes and things. And so... it sounded like a genuine thing that...
Yeah, they all got together and got the money for her.
Yeah.
Because remember, a bus pass wouldn't help her because when she was getting off, the buses already stopped running. That's the reason.
Right.
That was her whole excuse was staying there.
Yeah. Yeah, is that she just can't get to it.
And
So
she's so old, she didn't want to walk that far.
right,
Which
right.
wasn't the case.
And, one could write it off too as she has too much pride to ask for rides
for money.
from people or money or things like that. Because we don't know a lot about her personal situation other than she doesn't have any family nearby is what I think.
And that's why I wanted to make sure everybody remembered this scene. It ties into the end
Right.
so well.
Right. All right. Well, we're deep in the heart of the story here, so we're moving quickly. And join us next week for the next chapter.
And thank you, everyone, for joining us this week for this chapter of Daily Census Explained. And we'll see you next week.